So Rafael squared is not happening again.
Yeah.
Rafael Fiziev being able to work out his visa issue, but on his travel to the United States for this fight, he unfortunately contracted COVID
Hmm.
19, and he's got it pretty bad. I'm pretty sure he said
Yeah.
he's actually like sick from it. So we hope the best for him and his recovery. But this is kind of forced a scramble to who's going to replace Fiziev in
Yeah.
this fight. And let me just tell you, there was people coming out from
I've
every.
never, I've never seen
every
so many people want to fight so bad.
it's the most I've seen that's not involving Conor McGregor. So
Oh, 100%.
Um, literally, I mean, a guy that I knew from 10 years ago came out of nowhere and was like, "I will fight Rafael Dos Anjos." I'm like, I haven't seen you in 10 years, my old
Yeah.
neighbor.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like everybody was coming out of the woodwork saying, "I'll fight RDA." You had
Yeah.
names like Tony Ferguson being thrown around. Islam Makhachev, the winner of last weekend's main event. But the UFC ended up going with Renato Moicano, who is unranked. But Dominic,
Mm.
despite the discrepancy in terms of ranking here, explain to the people why Renato Moicano should not be overlooked, even on 5 days' notice at 160 pounds,
Yeah.
5 rounds. Tell people why he shouldn't be overlooked in this matchup.
Yeah, guys, I get it, right? I mean, don't get it twisted. I wanted Islam too. I thought that fight was huge. I thought it was a huge star
We'll talk.
making.
We'll talk about that here in
Right.
a minute.
But this fight is a badass fight. I really like the way these two match up with one another. It's definitely a tough draw for Moicano, as I already said. He literally, for those that don't know, traveled, just got back to Brazil. It was like a 14-hour flight.
Yep.
Literally picks up the phone and sees that Fazayev's out. He says, I'll jump in. He just landed in Vegas today after 19 more hours of travel on Wednesday as we're talking. Had to cut 20 pounds. It's 5-round fight. Wow, this guy's got big kahunas, right?
Yeah.
But he's well rounded. He's good everywhere. Great jiu-jitsu. He's shown an ever improving skill set on the feet throughout his UFC career. He's always had a very tough strength of schedule when he was a featherweight. Now he's up at lightweight. He's coming off of a great win less than a month ago, by the way, at UFC 271. It was Noah's biggest standout of the entire show, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true.
So while it is a tough fight, it's a tough draw with all these crazy circumstances. There's upset potential here, and if Moicano can win this, not only the biggest win of his career, but so many eyes, being that this is going to be a pretty big pay-per-view in a co-main event slot against the number 6 guy in the world, a former champion in RDA. I am personally ecstatic for this fight, if I'm being honest.
Yes, out of all the options that were being thrown out, again, I mentioned Tony Ferguson, Islam Makhachev, these people, Paul Felder brought
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah, yeah.
This was the one, Renato Moicano, that is, that I felt was the most realistic and was also the one outside of, I guess, a potential Islam fight that I was most excited for. And I'm sure a lot of people would call me crazy for not getting more excited about Paul Felder or Tony Ferguson, but like Paul Felder, we literally saw that same situation play out at
Yeah,
the
with
end
the
of
same guy.
2020.
Yeah,
I didn't need to see it again because it was
yeah,
a great fight, but like RDA pretty much dominated. Like I didn't need to see it again.
yeah.
I'm saying like if it was the one that got booked, I wouldn't be upset, but I'm saying over Renato Moicano.
Right.
That's what we're evaluating here. Tony Ferguson seems like a great. I mean, that probably is a great fight, but I rather at Tony at this point in his career, I don't want to see him taking fights on short notice. I don't really
Hmm.
want to see him on 5 days' notice. He's struggling to win on full camps right now
Yeah.
and struggling to really look good on full camps right now. He needs as much time as he can get, I believe, right now. Renato Moicano, I even said this at our recap for UFC 271. I said, he's almost got me to believe in him again, but I've been here before with Moicano, where it's like right when you start to buy in and
Yeah.
say he's a guy worth keeping an eye on, worth investing in, he kind of will fall short.
Yep.
Well, this is a big moment for him, but it's not the same. A loss
Circumstance.
here doesn't
Yeah.
throw him into the gutter.
Yeah.
He's still a guy that I'm like, that performance was really good against Hernandez. He also has fought Fiziev. I believe that was his debut at 155 pounds, actually.
Yeah. Tough draw. You're right.
Really is. And in that fight, the biggest, I guess, blemish on his skill set is his lack of striking defense. Well,
Yeah.
RDA is probably the most consistent product the lightweight division has.
Yep.
Another guy that's just a buzzsaw, good everywhere, really can win a fight in any capacity, any fashion. That's why I think this is going to be a lot of fun. But I have a hard time seeing Moicano get the win. But I could really foresee him making a great showing of himself. And again, kind of like how we said for Bobby Green last week, even though he wasn't able to quite do it, a great showing that could maybe propel him into like a bigger matchup. Perhaps win or lose, him and Bobby Green should just go fight on full camps next. I don't know.
Oh shit! Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there. But let's talk about the whole Islam Makhachev thing and how Islam Makhachev tweeted out that he would take the fight when it was announced that Fiziev dropped out. He said, "Let's do it. 170 pounds. We have unfinished business." RDA came back and said like 165 pounds of the division that you guys started, talking about Habib's promotion, UFC. Then it was announced that, I don't know if it was Okamoto that tweeted out that RDA had signed to do the Islam fight.
Yeah, at 170.
Yeah, and that Islam was yet to sign.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere it was Renato Moicano. So I understand whether you're a hardcore or casual fan, whatever, I understand getting disappointed when you think you're going to get Islam Makhachev and then you get Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano is great. Islam Makhachev might be the next lightweight champion. So it's reasonable to be disappointed by the fact that, and especially for the quick turnaround, I mean, that'd be a pretty nutty concept.
Oh, it'd be insane. Yeah.
I also feel like Islam just shouldn't have tweeted at all. And I don't know if he's the one that actually tweeted this. I know a lot of people say his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, sort of controls all his fighter social media. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he did. But it would be pretty dumb to do because now people are going to act like Islam ducked this fight. And, and Dana even confirmed as such that he didn't accept this fight. He doesn't know why. He said he thought it was a done deal and then he didn't take it.
Yeah.
But let me be clear on how I stand on this. He shouldn't take it. And I'm not saying that because I think he would lose that fight. I'm just saying why take the risk when as of now, you're the rightful next contender. Now I know there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of stuff going on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on the YouTubes that might lead you to believe that Dana White's going to give Conor McGregor the title fight when he comes back. We've talked about this literally
on Monday.
So we won't dwell on it too much, but I think it's all a lot of noise right now. I think right now it's very much Oliveira Gaethje are going to fight, and I think Islam is just there.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
For him to take this fight with RDA on such short notice, it would be the positives that could come out of that by winning, I don't think outweigh the potential negatives to losing that fight.
Great way of putting it.
And don't get me wrong, I wanted to see it. I was all game. I'm like, look, if he wants to be a gangster, I mean, here we go.
Yeah.
But now that I can reflect on where we were yesterday or 2 days ago, and I can say that there really wasn't much reason for him to take it at all. He just shouldn't have said anything to begin with.
Right. Yeah, I agree, and I loved your kind of thoughts on it in the DMs, how you put it here. At the end of the day, it would have been great, but we're getting this, and I think honestly, if you're looking at kind of comparing how this fight could play out compared to RDA versus Islam, I think this one has the makings to be a lot more fun, a lot more exciting, more X's and O's than what that one would have had, if I'm being honest. And you have potential for a guy to really have a feel-good moment here and explode into title contention when he's been looked at as a guy that, he'll win a couple, but then he'll lose a few, as Noah said.
Right.
This is, Moicano's chance. And the hardcore fans, I think, know how good he is. So this is a big opportunity here. I respect the shit out of him for even doing this. I mean, you want to talk about gangster. This is crazy, all of the stuff that he's going to have to do. And it's not even done yet. He still has to cut weight and everything. So I think this fight has a lot of potential to be really fun and have some very big takeaways as well.
Yeah, a lot of credit that needs to be given here. Give him his flowers or whatever you want to call it to Renato
Yes,
Moicano. I will just say on the other side for RDA, if he wins this, Dominic, I mean, it almost feels like he's like one away from a title
I
shot in his
agree.
own right. So who's to say that him versus Islam still doesn't happen here in the near future, you know?
Yeah, very true. RDA, he won the title. He lost it. He ventured to 170. Didn't do great. Now he's back at 155. He looked good against Paul Felder. So you're right. He could very well be, win this one and then have one more and be right back there for a potential title shot again. So there is still a lot on the line, regardless of who would have stepped in. But again, I love what we ended up getting here in the co-main event.
Yeah, one more.